Maker Dekolade. It's great to have you here again on another Friday evening for another session like this. If this is your very first time, welcome to High Performance Live. This is the community where we talk about the tools, tips, skills, and strategies to help you and I be those high performers that God has created us to be. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. It's great to have you back here, dear high performer. How are you doing? How was your week? I hope your week went well. You know how we do it, right? Every Friday like this, we come on live in the high performance community, just cheering ourselves on, looking at how the week has been, taking a review, and then strategizing for the week that is ahead of us. So, how are you? I hope your week went well. I hope you had a profitable and productive week. Just want to say very big well done to you. We have come to another Friday where we're going into another weekend and they're preparing for the new week ahead. So you know how we do it, right? Every time we come on High Performance Live like this, we always do our high performance review for the week, which is three things: what we are grateful for, the lesson that we are learning this week, and what we are looking forward to in the upcoming week. So I'll start. What I'm grateful for is I'm grateful for another opportunity to be here with you on High Performance Live. And the lesson that I'm learning this week is the seeds of financial dominion, which I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes. You want to hang around for that. I promise it's going to be very, very insightful and powerful. You want to make sure that you are there for that. All messages visible. Yes, I wanted to make sure that I'm getting the messages as it's dropping. Okay, so that's what I'm grateful for. That's the lesson that I'm learning this week. And what am I looking forward to in the upcoming week is the 7-figure pitch webinar coming on May 1st. That's about 2 weeks from now, the 7-figure pitch webinar, how to attract premium clients in your workspace, in the marketplace, or the career space. You are an executive, you're an entrepreneur, you want to know how to attract premium clients. That's what that webinar is going to be all about. I'm going to be showing you the strategies to attract those high-paying clients, those premium clients in your business or in your work. And so you want to definitely be part of that. In the days to follow, I'm going to be sharing more details about that webinar. And then the link for you to sign up is free, but definitely you have to sign up to be part of it. So look forward to the details and the link for you to sign up and be part of that event. So that's my own high performance review for the week. Very, very quickly, what I'm grateful for, the lesson that I'm learning this week, and what I'm looking forward to in the upcoming week. What's yours? What are you grateful for this week? What's that lesson that you are learning this week, and what are you looking forward to in the upcoming week? I really want to hear from you. Yes, please share it there. Oh, hi, Serious Hydra. Good day to you too. It's great to have you here, Hydra. Thank you for joining. So that's it. Let me know, what are you grateful for this week? It's Friday. I know so many things has gone on through, whether at work, at home, at school. What are those things that you are grateful for? Let me know right there in the comments. What's the lesson that you learned this week throughout your activities for this week? Let me also know right there in the comments. And what are you looking forward to in the upcoming week? Please do share it there. And don't be stranger, let me know you are there. Send a comment, just like Serious Hydra just sent a comment to me here. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining. So very, very quickly, I said I will be talking about just very short couple of minutes, the seeds of financial dominion. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. One thing that is very important to us as high performers, it's our finances, it's our money. And that's why for a while now, I've been talking about how, do we make the most of that particular aspect of our life? How do we make the most of our finances? How do we make the most of our wealth that God has given to us? Because one is that the way we manage that aspect of our life reflects in every other aspect of our lives. That's one thing about the way you manage your finances is the way that you manage your health, is the same way you manage your business, your career, your relationship. So that's why I feel that it's very, very pivotal we talk about these things. The principles that we have been sharing and we have been talking about for weeks now. If you look at them closely, you will discover that these principles cut across board. They are very, very powerful principles that if only we will apply them, because that's what it is. It's not for enough for us to talk about these things. It's not even enough for me to come and talk about these things to you. Every day, I'm always talking to myself and saying to myself that how am I applying many of these things that we're talking about here? I also have to apply them if I'm going to see the results. I don't get a pass for just talking about them. I also have to apply them if I'm going to see that change, that desired change that I desire in my life. And so that's just what it's about. Every time we come together here, we are always encouraging ourselves. That's what we're talking about. I'm not any expert. I'm not any better. The only thing that I'm doing is that I'm diligent to learn these things and to share them with you and to encourage us that let's grow together, right? That dream that we have for our lives, that we have for our family members, that we have for our communities, let's hold on tight to those dreams. And how do we make those dreams happen? That's what this forum, these live sessions is all about. And so that's why today I want to talk about the seeds of financial dominion. And let me start like this by asking this question: that have you seen the TV series called Shogun? Shogun, permit me, I think I'm pronouncing it with my English or with my Nigerian accent. I think in the Japanese accent, which I don't have, I think it's Shogun or Shogun or something. Let me not even bother, because now it's sounding like I'm pronouncing it with Yoruba accent. So please forgive me. But have you seen this series Shogun, Shogun? That's the best way I can pronounce it. I think it's produced by FX. Have you seen that series? If you've seen the series Shogun, just type yes in the comments. The reason why I'm talking about Shogun is because I love the lot. It's a beautiful show starring Hiroyuki Sanada. I think if I get his name correctly, one of my favorite actors when it comes to martial arts and all that. I love him a lot. If you haven't seen Shogun, Yes. Oh, thank you so much, SME Tribe, for sharing that. Yes, Shogun. If you haven't seen Shogun, just as SME Tribe spells there, please go see it. It's a very beautiful show. You will love it. I'm sure you will love it. And the reason why I bring up Shogun here is because in one of the episodes, don't worry, no spoilers. I'm not going to tell you anything about the story, just in case you haven't seen it. Oh, hi, SME Tribe. Good evening. Great to have you here, SME Tribe. Welcome. So I'm not going to say anything about the overall story, so don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. But there's this particular series where I learned a very, very powerful lesson that I want to share with you this evening. And for me, that's even when a series becomes so endearing, as in it becomes that's when I love a series even more, where it's not just about the entertainment. I get to learn also powerful lessons from the series. And one of the powerful lessons that I learned from one of the episodes is the power of words. In this particular episode, what happens is that there's this particular character in the series. He keeps a particular object, a bird, a dead bird, keeps it somewhere, and he's the master of his house. And he says to everyone in the house, and says, hey, you see this bird I've kept here? No one should touch it. The interesting thing is that he's not Japanese, he's a foreigner. So he says in broken Japanese, just for them to be able to understand, touch, die, touch, die. So he wants them, touch, die. He can't say anything more than that, but he says to them, touch, die. And they understand that what this guy is telling us is that this thing he has kept, do not touch it, if not, you will die. Not knowing that he's just implying the seriousness of his instruction that nobody should touch it. He actually doesn't mean that he's going to kill anybody who touches that object. But guess what? For the Japanese, they don't think like that. They take words very, very seriously. And so when it gets to the point that this particular thing that he has kept for a while becomes really to the point that it has become life-threatening to their village, because it's rotting and attracting flies, and definitely is going to attract all manner of germs, bacteria, and everything, and they are afraid of their health. Guess what they do? Somebody eventually has to volunteer on behalf of every other person to go take down that object, to dispose of it. But guess what? They understand the implication that that person that has taken that step is going to die because of an instruction that was placed on that object. Now, guess what happens? My wonderful brother comes back. He does not see the object, but instead he sees everybody in mourning, and he's like, "What's happening?" And they say, "Oh, so person went and touched what you said he shouldn't touch, and he had to die because of that." And he is totally livid. He's upset. He says, "I don't understand. Why in the world would you do something like that? Why would you kill him?" And they said, "We don't understand. That's what you said. You said anybody who touches this thing will die." And he's like, "See, I didn't mean literal death. That bird does not even mean anything to me." Now, what is so powerful for me is when somebody says to him and says, "The bird might have not meant anything to you, but your words gave it meaning." And for me, that's just so powerful. He said, that particular character said to him, he said, "Your words gave it meaning." And I believe it's so important for us to have this conversation this evening, because I believe that sometimes we are not very careful about our words. We don't understand. We know our words are powerful, but I think many times we need to actually be reminded about the power that our words carry, that our words carry power. Our words are not ordinary. Our words give meaning to our circumstances, give meaning to our situations, give meaning to our lives. And we need to be very, very conscious of that fact. That's why we're having this conversation this evening. It was the very wise King Solomon, who lived thousands of years ago, who said something very powerful. He said, "See, your words kill, your words give life." And literally, that's what happened in Shogun. His words killed somebody. And so for me, it's a picture where you understand that our words actually can kill. These things that we just let loose from our mouth or we let loose from our lips can actually kill and can actually give life. And then, the wise Solomon goes on to say that, he said, "Your words are fruit. They are either poison or fruit. You choose. You get to decide." And for me, that's where I'm going, that the reason why Solomon will say your words are like fruit is because words are seeds. And that's why we're talking about the seeds of financial dominion. That there are certain seeds, it's a principle of life, right? That the natural is a picture of a deeper phenomenon that is going on behind the scenes. And one of those natural phenomena that we have been given to understand life, or to better understand life, is this phenomenon called a seed. A seed is a principle that helps us to understand every other aspect of our life, because what happens is that whatever you plant as a seed is what eventually goes on to become a crop, goes on to become a tree, goes on to become a forest, goes on to become a harvest. And so what that simply means is that our seeds are our future. You've heard that popular saying that the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The next best time to plant it is now. What it simply means is that the power of the seeds. Whatever you plant is what you are eventually going to reap. Whatever you plant in your life is eventually what is going to show up in the future. And so my own charge and my own encouragement to you this evening is that we need to start paying attention to the seeds in our life. There are certain seeds in our life which are the pictures of that future that we desire. The pictures of that future that we desire, be it in our finances, our health, our business, our career, our relationships that we desire. And so it's all about, what are those seeds that we're planting today? Are we being conscious? Are we conscious? Are we deliberate about the seeds that we plant today? Because those seeds that we plant today are the forests, are what we are going to reap, what we are going to harvest in our future. That's just what it is. So it's about being conscious of the seeds that we're planting today. And one of those seeds that I've just mentioned now is our words. Our words are seeds. The words that we plant, the words that we release from our mouth today is creating our future tomorrow. The words that we use today are very powerful, are seeds that are creating that future that we desire tomorrow. And that's just one what it is, that these things are Just like how a seed doesn't look like the plant or doesn't look like the fruit is going to become. Take, for example, the apple seed. The apple seed, when you look at the apple seed, really, you can't tell what the apple seed will become just by looking at the apple seed. If you have never seen an apple fruit before, you can never, ever estimate that that seed is what is going to become that fruit. So that's just what it is. Many times these seeds don't look like the fruit. And my own charge and my own encouragement ourselves this evening is that there are certain things that we carry, that we have in our lives right now, that don't look like anything, that just look like things that are small, things that are trivial, things that are insignificant. But it's for us to come back to the place to tell ourselves and to warn ourselves that these things that look like they are seemingly small and insignificant today are things that have the potential to become big and extraordinary tomorrow, if only we'll pay closer attention to those things. Just like how that guy in Shogun didn't think about those words, but eventually it went on into the future to become something serious. Is how there are things that we have in our lives today that look like they are flimsy, don't look like anything, but are creating our future tomorrow. Just like I said, number one is our words. Our words are powerful. Our words are seeds. Our words are creating our tomorrow. And so it's all about saying that, are we being deliberate about the words that we speak? Because our words give meaning to our circumstances, they give meaning to our life. We can't say, oh, just like how the farmer does not say that, he planted corn in his farm and he's surprised that he is reaping the harvest of a maize crop, reaping a harvest of maize. He knows what he planted. So that's just what it is. Do you know what you are planting with your words today? Are you planting are you planting positive words into your life, or are you planting negative words into your life? And especially for a lot of Christians who believe in the power of positive confession, right? So, okay, we believe in the, thank you so much, SME Try, for that. So we believe, oh yes, in confessing positive words, in saying positive words. Yes, all that is great and powerful. But one thing that I'm discovering more and more these days is that you can't confess for 5 minutes out of a 24-hour day. You can't confess positively for 5 minutes out of a 24-hour day and just say anything that you like for the rest 23 hours, 55 minutes of the day and expect to see a positive change in your life. Let's be sincere with ourselves. So it's not just about having positive confession. It's about saying that, are those words, those positive words, are they finding expression in our conversation? And so that's just it. For us to move from that place of confession to the place of conversation, sorry. Are those positive words reflecting your conversation? Because that's where the change happens. That's where the change happens until it begins to find expression in our day-to-day conversation. Those seemingly careless and unguarded moments, that is where the change happens. Because just like, imagine if that guy in Shogun, for instance, knew that his words were going to have such an impact later, he would have been careful with what he said. But it was just like, it's just a careless statement. It doesn't mean anything to me. He didn't know that that thing was eventually going to come back and bite him. And so that's just what it is. That is about our usual, our regular conversation. Are we putting in those powerful words, those positive words into our normal, regular conversation? Guess what? Why did, for instance, God change Abraham's name from Abraham to Abraham? Why did he change Sarah's name from Sarai to Sarah? Why didn't God say, okay, no, it's enough, don't worry, be doing positive confession and the promise will come to pass? He knew that it had to be a part of their everyday conversation. It had to be part of their everyday conversation. And one thing that is used in your everyday conversation is your name. So imagine how that you are just going along on the street and then somebody calls you by that thing that has to do with your future. That's what we're talking about. That in your regular everyday conversation, do the words that you use, are they a reflection of your past, of your painful past, or are they a reflection of the present that you do not like, or are they a reflection of that future that you desire? That's what we're talking about. And that it's saying that coming to that place where we make our words, that future we desire, we bring it into our regular everyday conversation. The second thing that I'm going to be talking about very quickly, remember I said seeds of financial dominion. Number one is our words. Number two is our thoughts. Our thoughts are powerful. Our thoughts are things. They are things. And the interesting thing is that I didn't know, I had heard my mentor say that thing before, that thoughts are things. I didn't know that there is actually a book by that title that says Thoughts Are Things by Prentice Mulford. I've not read the book, I just saw it online, and I guess it's very popular. You can check it out. This Mulford, Thoughts Are Things. And what it just simply means is that our thoughts are as real as the chair that you are sitting on right now. That's in case you are sitting on a chair. If you are lying down, maybe on the bed or the sofa, our thoughts are as real as that particular place where you are lying down right now. They are real. They are things. And that's why we need to be careful with the kind of thoughts that we are thinking. We need to watch the kind of thoughts that we allow to go through our minds, because those thoughts, in our thoughts is where we paint the picture of our future that we hang on our imagination. So that's just what it is. That are you deliberately painting pictures of your future with your thoughts? Are you deliberately painting pictures of your future with your thoughts? Or are you just allowing anything random to come into your mind? Because those thoughts are the seeds of the future. They are the seeds of the future, whether a positive future or whether a negative future. And that's why we need to be careful with the thoughts that we're thinking. It was still my mentor that I was listening to, and I had not heard him say something like that. He was talking about the book, The Conquest of the Mind, which is one book that I'm really looking forward to read. I think the author of the book is Albert Hubbard or something. But The Conquest of the Mind, you can also Google it and check it out online. And he was talking about how that book made a very powerful impression on him, as in that book changed his life. And he gave what he was talking about was how the author gave this charge that you must see yourself as a murderer of thoughts. As I love that. I say you must see yourself as a murderer of thoughts. You must imagine yourself like holding a sword or holding a machine gun, standing guard at the gate of your mind. And when you see any random thought that is not in line with that future that you desire for yourself, you shoot it down immediately. You shoot it down immediately. Shoot it down without apology, without recourse, without any delay. Shoot it down, cut it down, murder it immediately. And so that's just what it is, that we need to murder the negative thoughts and meditate on the positive thoughts, because the thoughts are seeds for that success that we desire in the future, be it in our finances or be it in any other area of our lives. The number three seed that we need to pay attention to, the seeds of our financial future and financial dominion, is our work. We've talked about our words, our thoughts. The next thing is our work. It's very, very important. Your work is a seed. My work is a seed. It's a seed for that future that we desire. And until we change our attitude to our work, we can't begin to walk in the reality of that future that we desire. That's just what it is. We need to change our attitude to our work. For a very long time, many of us have been conditioned to see work as something that we have to endure, something that we have to do, something that we have no choice to do. But the truth about it is that we need to change our attitude to work if we're going to see that financial dominion that we desire. We need to start seeing work as something that we enjoy doing and not something that we have to endure. We need to see work as something that we get to do and not something that we have to do. It's still the very wise King Solomon, who lived thousands of years ago, that was talking about what's it called now? I've forgotten. I know it as a Proverbs 31 woman. I'm looking for the proper name just in case you've never heard of that concept, Proverbs 31 woman. Okay, the virtuous woman. Thank you. I think that's what it's called in most circles. Yes, even if you go online and you you Google the virtuous woman, you'll see it is from Proverbs 31 there, by the wise King Solomon. And invariably, what one thing that I notice about the virtuous woman or the Proverbs 31 woman, depending on whichever one you are familiar with, she has become the standard of who everybody wants to marry, right? Everybody wants to marry the virtuous woman because she has all these lovely and powerful qualities and attributes. But we forget to ask ourselves that you want to marry a Proverbs 31 woman. Are you a Proverbs 31 man? We need to ask ourselves that question. You want to marry a Proverbs 31 woman, but you don't want to be a Proverbs 31 man. How does that work? So for me, the Proverbs 31 woman is a portrait, not just for women, but also for us men. We can learn vital lessons from her. And one of the very important lessons that I learned from the Proverbs 31 woman or the virtuous woman is her attitude to work. That woman loves her work, man. She does. She loves work. She doesn't grumble about work. That the chapter talks about how she rises up early and rolls up her sleeve and is eager to get to work. For me, that's just what's so powerful. And it talks about how that she rises up early, she's eager to get to work, and she's not in a hurry to call it quits for the day. Come on, what you talk about somebody who enjoys her work. Somebody who enjoys her work. She's not just looking at the time and looking at, closing time, ready to just quickly carry her bag and zoom off. And so that's just what it is, that we need to change our attitude to work. We need to change our attitude to work. It's just so important. As I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. Every day we can improve in that area of attitude to work, because we are sincere with ourselves. Many of us are in that place right now, especially with even all the things that is going on around us, where we can really, really get tired. It can be really, really discouraging. It's very tempting for you to go into that place where you're just like, I beg, please, I'm not just interested. Please, nobody should disturb me. You see so many funny things and interesting things online where even people's attitudes to business is changing, because of the things going on. People are stressed. I understand that people are stressed. People are dealing with a lot. But this is when we need to galvanize. We need to be better people. We don't have to sink to the level of our circumstances. This is the time for us to level up our game, for us to rise up higher. Let's not be one of those people who says, "Oh, you know what? If you are not ready to buy, don't even message me." Then I'm just like, I don't understand. How will they buy if they don't message you? And is everybody that messages you, will they buy? No. And it's about having that positive attitude. The person who will buy will eventually buy, right? And so it's about changing our attitude to work. Let's be those people, right, that doesn't see work as a burden, but sees work as something that we get to enjoy wherever that you are. Yes, no matter how unfavorable the circumstances may be right now, where you are, there is one thing you always have control over, and that's your attitude to work. Right, that the attitude you give to your work is not about today. That's the thing about the seed. Many of the times you look at the seed, you look at how small it is, and you just want to throw it away. But you remember that in that seed is the future. So in that work right now that you are despising, in that work that you don't want to give your best, right there in that work is the future. And so it's not about today, it's not about how it looks right now, it's about the future. And that's why you need to bring your best. Be like the Proverbs 31 woman, be like the virtuous woman, be eager to get to work, be eager to roll up your sleeves and do what you need to do. Be that person who is not in a hurry to call it quits for the day. Give it your best shot, and I trust me, you will definitely see the rewards. We've talked about your thoughts, we've talked about your words, we've talked about work. The next seed is your giving. It's very, very important. Your giving is a seed. What you give is a seed. It's a seed for the future. No one lacks what they give. They only lack what they keep. And so you can just imagine if, for example, the corn seed, right, says that, I don't want to go into the soil because the soil is so messy. I'm going to be dirty and all that, and I'm going to have to give part of myself to this soil. The corn seed will never become a corn cob. It will never become more than what it is right now. And so that's just what it is, that um when we hold on to things, when we hold on to our life, the most it will ever become. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of things that he possesses, right? So what does that mean? The key to the abundance that we truly, truly desire is in what we give, is in self-sacrifice, is not in trying to save ourselves, not in trying to hold on to life as it is out of fear. And so that's just what it is, that we come to that place where we say to ourselves that let's be willing to give. Let's be willing to give, especially in this time where life actually feels very threatening. The only way the thing is going to change, the only way we create that future that we desire, is by what we give and not by what we keep, not by holding on back. That thing that threatens you right now, that really threatens your existence, which in many times is money, if we'll be sincere, which in many times is money that threatens your identity, that when they want to take it from you, it's like, who am I without this thing? That is a signal that you need to be willing to let it go. That's just a signal that you need to be willing to let it go if you are going to grow to the next level. Yes, SME Tribe, you are laughing because it's the truth. We all feel these things. Many of the times we're in that place where it's like, without money, we don't even know who we are. And so when it comes like this, you want to hold on to it literally for dear life. But if we are going to find that life that we are really looking for, it's by being willing to let it go. It's by being willing to let it go. That's the seed that creates the future of who we are truly becoming. And that's just what it is. Yes, absolutely. Money is associated with life. And that you've hit the nail on the head right there, SME Tribe. And that's why we need to be willing to let it go. This is not more the seasons like the Old Testament where you go and kill calves, bulls, or cattle and all that. Because literally for them, that was what life was associated with then, right? Hi, Dikat, great to have you here. Greetings from Lagos, Nigeria. You're asking about that. Greetings from Lagos, Nigeria. It's great to have you here, Dikat. And so that's just what it is, that the thing that is connected to your life that makes you feel threatened, you need to be willing to let it go if you are going to get to the next level. And then the final thing is your faith. The final thing is your faith. So we've talked about words, we've talked about thoughts, we've talked about your work, we've talked about your giving, and then the final seed that creates that future that we desire is your faith. That's just what it is. And your faith is a seed. Faith is a seed. Is a seed that is creating the future. Is a seed that is creating the future. Your faith, when we talk about your faith, is what we're talking about is that what are those steps that you are taking today that is in line with that future that you see. That's just what faith really is. That's just what faith really is what are those steps that you are taking today that is in line with that future that you see. Hi, Dikat, Kayode here sending his love to you. Great to have you here. And so that's just what it is, that the steps that you take today that is in line with that future that you see. Because most times what you discover is that when challenges come at us, we start taking steps out of fear. And we need to check it. That's why I'm talking about our faith today, because most times when difficult situations come, if you look at it closely, you will not even know. Most times it happens unconsciously. You just discover that the steps, the kind of actions that you are taking are actions that are born out of fear. So you'll be cautious in the way you do certain things, you'll be cautious in the way you approach certain things. And so that's just what it is, that it's coming back to that place where you say to yourself, don't build for yesterday, build for tomorrow. Don't build for yesterday, build for tomorrow. Don't even build for today, build for tomorrow. Make sure that the steps that you are taking, that you are building for the future. And that's why your faith is so important. So at the end of the day, when we are talking about what we're talking about is that you have that picture of that future that you see, then no matter how small it is, make sure that you are taking a step towards that future that you see today. Take a step, take a step, take a step, even if it simply is about the fact that you don't lose your cool when every other person is losing their cool. So while every other person is complaining, is worried, is panicking, is running helter-skelter, you keep your cool. Why? Because you know that this present is temporary, it's going to pass. The future is coming, it's going to be different. So you decide to keep your cool. Every other person is wondering, why are you smiling? Why are you singing in the storm? Because you know that it's only temporary, it's going to pass. Things are going to change. And that's why I'm talking about your faith is very important. Please pay attention to it. At the end of the day, we're talking about all these things. We've talked about your words, your work, your thoughts, your giving. Everything is leading to that place where it's demonstrating your faith in your future. You know that very popular scripture that says, right, that show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works, right? So it's about what you are doing today that is in line. Are you taking steps that are born out of fear, or are you taking steps that are born out of faith? That particular thing that you are scared of, I keep saying it every time I come on High Performance Live like this, that thing that you are scared of doing, that's what you need to be focused on doing right now. That step that you are scared of taking, that's the step that you need to be taking right now. And so that's my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that go ahead and do your thing. That step is the seed that is creating your future in your finances and in every other aspect of your life. And so that's it. Just straight and sharp. Talking about those 5 seeds that you need to start paying attention to that are creating your financial future. Remember, it's about your words. Be very, very careful about your words. We need to be careful about the words that we use. Your thoughts, our thoughts. That's where we paint the picture of our future. Murder the negative thoughts and meditate on the positive thoughts. Remember, your work. Change your attitude to work. We can always improve. Yes, I know you have a great attitude to work. That's why you're a high performer. So we can always improve, level up in our attitude towards our work. You're giving. This is not the time to hold back. This is the time to give. You never lack what you give. You only lack what you keep. It's all about self-sacrifice, not self-help. That's how we find who we truly are. That's how we enter that future that God has created for us. And finally is your faith. And so that's also what it is. Thank you so much. I promise I was going to keep this short and sharp. Thank you for being here with me, SME Tribe. Thank you so much for sharing all the points here. You are the best as always. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me your questions. You can always DM me on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. We're going into the weekend. Look out for all the great and fantastic content coming out over the weekend. Please do me a favor and share these things with somebody. They will be so grateful to you that they did, because it's very life-changing, and they will always remember you for being that person that shared something with them that changed their life. So till I see you again, enjoy your weekend. Talk to you very soon. Your greatness is very sure.